Hey you guys, so this video I'm going to do is, should you join a sorority? I'm not part of the Panhellenic ones. I'm not, the music fraternity for women that I'm in is not part of Panhellenic or the Panhellenic Council or Multicultural Council or anything like that. But, I know certain things that are the same for my fraternity for women and sororities for Panhellenic and stuff like that. There's some similarities and there's differences, and I know a few of the differences because I did go through Rush and I had to go through the whole little talking about things like the price and what they stand for and things like that. So I'm just going to go through a few basic things, just talk about general things, because I don't know about every sorority. They're all different. They have different values and things like that. But there's things that are similar that are shared among a lot of them. And before you even go through the process, think about this. This isn't just something you do for 4 years or what you do during your college experience, but this is something that you carry on for life. It's not just, okay, I'm just going to join it just to, know people and stuff like that. You're kind of representing this sorority for the rest of your life, pretty much. I mean, sure, you can always disaffiliate and just stop, being a member, but why join if you're just gonna give up like that? It's something that it shows your strength, I would say, if you're able to carry this name with such integrity and respect for longer than just 4 years and live out the values and everything of this sorority for the rest of your life. So first off, if you're not going to give it your all, if you're just going to be like, okay, I can do this sometimes, the meetings are only once a week, so I'll just go to those and whatever. If you're just going to do it like that, then it's not worth, spending the thousands of dollars to do this. Because, yeah, there's fun things, you go to parties and stuff like that, but that's not what it's all about. It's about sharing this love and passion for the same thing that your sisters share the same passions for. Something else you want to consider before, going through Rush, because just signing up for Rush can be expensive. It can be like $60, $50, or even more than that depending on your school. I know probably, like, some schools they might have it for free, like smaller schools, but some schools, like at least the school I went to before I transferred, it was like $65 just to sign up for Rush because of the t-shirts and then, having to have everything ready for you. It's expensive, but I mean, if it's a smaller school, it probably doesn't cost that much. And maybe for bigger schools, if there's more girls, it'll probably cost a little bit more due to the amount of things that are needed. But I'm not exactly sure. It'll probably cost around, let's say, $50 to $70 maybe just to Rush, which is expensive. But I mean, if you're really into this, again, if you're gonna put your all into it, it's worth it. Something else is that you can't expect to get into the house that you wanted to. Go in with no expectations, because if you have an expectation, then you're gonna think, okay, if this house doesn't want me, I'm not good enough, or they didn't, I only got a bid from one house or something. Like, go in thinking that, okay, these are all great places. Maybe I'll fit into all of them, or I'll find, you have to go in willing to bond with people and not just think, okay, I'm not going to talk to these people because I probably have nothing in common with them. So, I mean, if you're not going to go in with the open mind, then there's no point in going through it, at least formal recruitment. I mean, you can always do informal if your school does that, but you never know. You never know. That house may be full and they might not be accepting that many people, that many girls, or you just don't fit, and then if you went in with a closed mind, the other girls from other houses might think you're not fit for their house if you seem disinterested. So definitely go in with the open mind. Do not go in expecting that you're going to get into a house because you're legacy, but I mean because you know people or something like that, because things happen. There might be a girl that bonds a lot better with them than you do, so do not expect anything. Before you rush, something else, before, I was talking about the price of how much it costs just to rush. A a lot of schools, it's really expensive just to keep active. I know, at least when I rushed, they gave you a piece of paper with how much dues are for each house and how much your first semester would be. For most of the first semesters, it was at least $5,000 to $8,000 just for your first semester. And then after that, it was only like $800 or $500, $300 for months after that. But your first semester, for your first semester is going to be the most expensive because you have to pay for your education, you have to pay for your badges, you have to pay for everything is upfront, you pay for everything. And then for semesters after that, you pay a set fee unless they decide to, unless there's a vote to increase dues, but I don't think that happens very often. I hope it doesn't. I know for my fraternity for women that they were talking about possibly raising dues because of the price of our formal this year, but because we paid for formal for our dates and stuff like that, we don't have to increase it. But yeah, but there may be times where they might increase dues, but they usually notify you before that. And if you have problems, some sororities do have payment plans, or they might have something just to keep you active, but it depends on the sorority you're in. But definitely keep in mind that it is very expensive, depending on the sororities. Panhellenic is usually the most expensive due to they do have to pay chapters, they have to pay nationals and things like that to keep active, I believe. So they do have to keep a lot of money. They have to keep a total certain number of girls to stay active or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know it's a lot more expensive due to the amount of things they have to do. They have a lot more events. They have a lot more things to do for their philanthropies and stuff like that. And they have more things that you need to pay for, but it is a lot more expensive than what I'm in, where it's just we pay our dues, which pays for pretty much the whole semester, and we don't really do that much due to us being somewhat small, so it's not really that big. But yeah, just keep in mind that depending on what council your sorority is in and how big it is nationally and things like that, how much you might pay, and how big the school is, you'll probably pay a lot more due to the size of the school and how much they do. The more active they are, the more expensive, so keep that in mind. If I'm getting any of this information wrong, you can always leave it in the comments, but yeah, but I think I'm kind of getting in this general correctness, so, but if there is something wrong, like I probably slipped up and said something wrong, please correct me in the comments. I'll try and pick up stuff as much as I can in editing, but knowing me, I'll slip up. So you're going through Rush, and let's say you find a house that you like, and they pick you and things like that. I can't really say what each chapter does differently. I don't really know, and things like that. But you go through I don't know if they do pinning first or things like that, but at least for mine, that you got pinned and pledged first. You went through the education process where you learned about the histories and things like that, and then you got initiated. Well, you have to take a test before initiation, but so I'm not sure if other sororities they pledge after they take the exam, or if there's an initiation process before the pledging, or if that's the same thing for some sororities. But at least for mine, after you get chosen, after you get a bid, you pledge, you go through education, take the exam. In our case, it was a national exam, so you had to go through nationals, and then you had to go, and then you were initiated. I'm not sure what they do for other sororities, but you have to think about this. It's not going to be really easy. I mean, there's going to be sisters helping you out along the way, but you can't go into this thinking, okay, I'm going to blow this off, it's whatever, I don't care. Like, you have to care, you have to be able to study, like, you have to be willing to study and want this bad enough to where you'll study, keep with it to pass the exam so you can, get on with, go to initiation. But, I don't know how other sororities do it. I know Like, a lot of people, they make you learn the Greek alphabet, but, I mean, I didn't have to learn that, but our exam was pretty hefty, and we had to learn a lot of things. Like, I know it's really hard to, like, remember the founders and things like that, and where you were founded and things like that. But yeah, it's really tough. You don't blow it off. You have to study, and you have to be willing to keep up. Keep up with things, and you have to learn cheers, songs. You have to learn different things, dances. Well, I don't think you really have to learn dances, but you definitely have to learn what they teach you, because you're going to be passing this on for years to come. So you can't just blow this off, because then the whole chapter is going to suffer. If you're, say you think this way and your little thinks this way and they think this way, it's going to keep spreading to where one day the chapters won't really care, and you don't want that to happen to your sisterhood, because the founders worked so hard to build it up, so pretty much what I'm saying is that you can't blow this off. If you want to join, you have to be willing to commit to this, not only for the 4 years or 5-6 years you're in school, but for the rest of your life, because you're gonna hopefully join an alumni chapter and keep going with the philanthropies and keep working with people, work in the fields where many of your sisters work, and I mean, you have to really just care about your sisters. You can't just blow them off because they accepted you and brought you in as their own. And don't forget, it does cost a lot of money. There might be payment plans. They might have a way where you can pay, but definitely, hopefully, you'll have the money before, because it is expensive. They do expect you to pay that, but it's worth it for all the things that you get to do and things like that. So yeah, so keep that in mind. Don't just go into this thinking, okay, I just want to do this and this, because you're always writing your letters after you're initiated, or even after you pledge. You don't want to go in there thinking you can just party all the time, because that's not what it's about. You're not even supposed to drink with your letters on or anything like that. So you're not supposed to, do things with your letters on. So, I mean, you have to have respect. If you're not going to have respect for the organization you're in, there's no point in joining. I really think that you should give it your all, because not only is it a financial obligation, but it's just something that other girls have worked hard in, and they don't want you to just, squander it all away and make them look bad. You have to be able to respect yourself and respect the sorority you're in. So I hope I helped. If you have any other questions, you can ask below. I don't know what else you guys want me to talk about. I will try and get a video up with, rush what you would wear. It's just that I don't really know anything about other schools, but I will try and do research on what other people have said and try and get things up. So if you guys have any other questions about sororities or rushing, or how some things are done, I can give you more information on mine if you want. Just let me know, and maybe I'll do a video on it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope I helped you guys, help you brainstorm about being in a sorority or not. And thanks for watching. Bye.